Dear Diary, it is Thursday, February 28th. So much has happened. I had to go back and look at my Monday entry to like remind myself what I talked about. I know Monday I didn't really talk much about medical stuff. So, let's recap. Tuesday, went back to the fertility doctor's office, had a second ultrasound to see my follicle to see if it ruptured, to see if it released the egg. However, I was seen by another doctor, but anyway, within the office, he couldn't find the follicle that ruptured. So, he printed out this ultrasound thing and basically explained I may have something called LUF or LUF, L-U-F. Forgot exactly what it's short for. It's a medical term. But basically what may have happened is that he says something about like, oh, it's kind of like having a saran wrap around your follicle so your egg can't be released. So I'm like, great, that's awesome. So they took some blood, and right away that afternoon they were able to find out that because they were looking for progesterone level and like a few other things. So they're like, oh yeah, so it was high, so it means you ovulated. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, so I was like, okay. They're like, well, we just have to wait a few more days to find out your other test results. I'm like, okay. So that was that. And then I saw my nephrologist on Wednesday about my kidneys. So instead of the CT scan my GP suggested, he said I need an MRA. He said it's like an MRI, but it's just to look at the blood vessels, and then there's no dye involved, so there's not radioactive. I'm like, okay. The funny thing was, he's like, are you always so positive, or did you just put up a good front? I'm like, good question. I'm like, you probably just caught me on a good day. Just kidding. Anyway, so we talked a lot because I had to be switched off of one of my meds that was helping my blood pressure, and it was supposed to be great also that helps my protein in my urine, because that's what causes, or when a woman's pregnant, something will happen called preeclampsia, and basically is bad for both the mother and the child. And so he kept like stressing, like, do you know the consequences? I know you looked at it. Do you understand fully? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, I get it. If it comes at a really bad time when the fetus is not ready, we might have to term the pregnancy or deliver, and baby might be in trouble. And if we don't, then I'm in trouble, right? I was like, great, I understand that. Thanks for saying that. So right away he mentioned, have you thought about surrogacy? And I'm like, yes, I have. I know it exists, but never really considered it, because it's just how expensive it is. If you just do a quick Google search, you'll say anywhere between 60 to 90K. And that's a lot. That's a buttload of money. And that's like double what IVF would probably cost. Of course, IVF just depending on how many, cycles you do and all that. And meds and shots and everything. So I started to read more into it and to try to understand more. There might be a cat fight soon, just FYI. And I found it more and more interesting. And I was giving one of my friends, who's kind of going through similar things, different route, but also pregnancy. Anyway, and yes, I was getting unsolicited advice, but I was talking about like financial support. I was like, okay, you could go through home loan, HELOC, borrowing from credit card, yada yada. And I just thought to myself, why don't I just do it? Why don't yes, we already borrow from credit card, but how about HELOC? Granted, I never thought about HELOC prior. It's because I didn't own a home till over a year ago. So now that is an option for me to take out HELOC. And it's not like if you get this loan, I have to use it, right? Anyway, so, And there are a couple agencies I reached out to, I got back, and it just kind of sucks. They don't just list like the price like a adoption agency would, or even like an IVF treatment. Like they kind of tell you what different costs are. So it's kind of difficult, but it's great to see information because they ask you a lot of different things like that one would have not have thought. Maybe just me, but like ask a question like, would you terminate if the baby has Down syndrome, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I never thought about stuff like that. Anyway, so great things to think about. One agency even said, oh, they only charge a one-time fee. It's not like, doesn't matter how many surrogate you go through, how many trials of IVF you go through, they only charge one. So that's nice, right? And I also found out from the fertility doctor's office that they do have agencies that work with. So I'll probably have to schedule a meeting with him and talk to him and learn more about like if my egg is okay to retrieve, and I guess how much it costs to test my eggs and yada yada. So lots of things to think about. I guess one thing that like I was discussing with JR was that like I was very excited. So he wasn't too excited because he said, well, that would still mean that I need to go through the egg retrieval, and then we both didn't know before watching This Is Us that you were put to sleep when they do the egg retrieval. We didn't know that. And he's like, I don't want any risk. He's like, just the older I get, he wants us to be exposed to less risks and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, it will be the same thing if I go through IVF. And I know me and him talked about it. If we do need to go through IVF, most likely we might not go that route. So anyway, and me really want to go through the surrogacy route. It's just that, yes, it is my fault, but I'm not healthy now. Granted, yes, I have this huge fear about not pregnancy in general, like carrying the baby, but the giving birth part. I don't know why. I am absolutely petrified. Anyway, so yes, that may be one reason why I don't want to carry the baby or to give birth. Everyone's like, well, just do C-section. I don't know. Anything like that just scares me. So I'm a wimp. I'm not afraid to admit it. So that's one major thing. And two, it's just like, I already have problems. I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes. I have proteinuria. I have issues. So putting my body through that, and also that could possibly affect the baby. Like, okay, put me through it, but putting the baby through that too, like, because I don't know. I just basically, no, I don't know how well my body would take it. And also I hear, quite a few times already, doctors have told me, it's like, your situation, you have to be acceptable and kind of know that in your second and third trimester, you might be bedridden. I'm like, really? I am now older, and yes, I like to be lazy, but even just staying home, like, and laying around for 2 days over the weekend, I'm already like, ugh, I'm so bored. Get me out of here. So I don't know how that will work too, right? So anyway, this is now a long entry that I didn't intend. So I guess next steps is just to, do more testing, talk to the fertility doctor about going the surrogacy route to see if that's possible. Because if we can't do my egg and his sperm, I don't want to do, because I still want our biological baby if we spend all that money, right? Because we both already said we can go adopt a baby. So I don't want to pay a surrogate. Oh, so that's what I learned too, that what we want is called gestational surrogate. So yeah, lots of learning to do. Yay, it's fun being an adult. One good cute news is that the neighborhood cat, the Tortie, that Jer and I call her Tori, she gave birth yesterday to 3 cute kittens. One's orange tabby, one's a brown tabby, and the third one's a Tortie, just like her. So that's what I've been enjoying. Every morning and night I go and check her out. So yeah, anyway, that's it for now. Jiggles Meow signing off.